Okay, Computer Information Systems, long-awaited Excel Assignment 18. Here we go. For this assignment, I'm actually going to give you a starter file. For some reason, this was really difficult to create, even though it shouldn't be. But this is what it will look like when you open it up. Excel Assignment 18.start. Okay, you'll see that you've got January, February, March, and a summary sheet for your quarterly balance. Okay, and this is filled in. We're going to start off by giving this a new name, so we're going to save it as. So you will put, working, your initials. All right. So I'm going to put example. You can put your initials. And here we go. Let's not waste any time. So we're going to start in January. And what we've got is different things that are money that's going out of our business and money that's going into our business. Outgoing money is called debit. Incoming money is called credit. These things are happening on different dates. They're happening with different account numbers that we're keeping track of. We have a descriptive text here that tells us what's going on. We have room for totals. And along this side, we're going to have a running balance that's going to tell us, where our balance is for our cash on hand. Okay? All right. So this is something that's used. Can be called a general ledger. There's different ways that you can do this. Actually, most companies have a more advanced copy of what this is going to do, but this is like a really kind of nice, easy way to display a balance sheet, a general ledger. So here we go. Let's fill in a couple of formulas first. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a formula that's going to keep a running balance. The way we're going to do that, in F3, I'm going to put equals the balance, so that's F2. We are going to subtract minus any debits, and we are going to add any credits. Now, it doesn't matter that this is a blank cell. That's just going to register it as a 0, as no change. And so we can still refer to blank cells in our formula. And the reason why we're doing it this way is so that we can use and take advantage of our fill handle. Okay? So if I press enter, I can see my formula is subtracting $24,000 from my total. See, this is less than this. Okay? And if I use my fill handle from F3 down, we're going to go down to 17, F17. Don't go too far. I want you to be right here on F17. We can see that we've got a running balance. And how does it work? Well, each entry, it takes the total from above, and it either subtracts a number from here or adds a number from here. Okay? All the way down. So this becomes our beginning balance. This becomes our end balance for the month of January. We're going to do some totals here. So I'm going to create a total for my debit. We're going to go ahead and use our auto sum button. Is a nice, easy way to do this. You'll notice that when I do the auto sum, it doesn't catch all the numbers. Okay? It stops at the first break of information. I can fix this pretty easily. We're going to start from D3 and drag all the way down to D17. Press enter. I could do that again with the sum function, or I can even use my fill handle to the right. Either method will get me the same result. I've got a sum of this entire column. Okay? So, here we've got successfully a sum of our outgoing cash, sum of our incoming cash, and we've got a running balance of how much, each transaction is putting our net balance. Okay? Now, we're going to continue this over several months, okay? 3 months makes a business quarter, okay? So we're going to go on to February. Now, my balance from the beginning balance of February is the end balance of January. So this becomes our very first idea of what I really wanted to show you today, is that we can use formulas to look across different sheets. Okay? It's simple, but we just want to make sure that we cover an example of how we do this. All right. So here in F2, I'm going to put equals. Now, while I have the equal sign typed, it's going to keep this formula open. Even if I go and I click on January, you see that there's still an equal sign. And if I go ahead and I click on F17, we see what gets filled in here. There's a single quotation mark, like an apostrophe, January apostrophe, exclamation point, F17. So what that's saying is I want the F17 that exists in the January sheet. Okay? We can do this. Once my formula is correct, all I need to do is tap enter. And look at my number here, 250,000. I'm going to tap enter. And I can see that the beginning balance of February is whatever the end result of January was. All right? 250,000. All right. Let's redo our formula here. So again, we're going to go equals F2 minus whatever happens in the D column plus whatever happens in the E column. Enter. I'm going to grab that cell and I'm going to use my fill handle down. We're going to stop on 17. And we're going to go ahead and do our totals again. Auto sum from D3 to D17. I'm going to choose to use the fill handle over. And here again, we have the sum, and the running total all the way down. Okay? All right. We've got one more month. We're just going to repeat that pattern. Going into March, I'm going to click in F2 equals. While the equal sign is open, the formula is being edited. We're going to click in February and click on F17 to get that February exclamation point F17. We're going to tap enter, and I see that 258,000 is in my balance. You guys know what to do from here. We're going to go equals here, F2 minus whatever happens in D plus whatever happens in E. Enter. Fill handle down. We're going to auto sum. Enter. Fill handle over. Boom. Good. So now we've got January, February, and March, each having running total of our plus and our minus. We are totaling the debit in each month and the credit in each month. And at the end of each month, we have a total. Okay? We're going to go now to our summary sheet. And we're going to do something just a tiny step more advanced, which is that we're going to add across several sheets. Okay, so here on our quarterly balance in C3, I'm going to try to add up the debits of all 3 months. We're going to start with our equal sign. Always, always, always. I'm going to go over now to January, and I'm going to click on my first debit, which is found in D18. Now, actually, you know what? This would be better off as a sum function. So I'm going to back this up. Escape is going to take me out of editing, and it's going to revert it back to whatever that cell was before I started editing. Let's try this one more time. I want to use the sum function, okay? It's a better way to do it. You could do it with pluses, but I'm going to go equals sum, open my parentheses. Okay, so here, instead of using just a simple formula or just a simple reference to another cell, we're actually going to use a function across multiple sheets. Okay, so here, equals sum, open parentheses. We're going to click in January. And I'm going to click on D18. Now, the sum function, each cell that I reference is a different argument. How do I move to the next argument? It's with the comma key, right? So I'm going to go ahead and tap comma. So I've got January of D18, comma. We're going to go into February. Click D18 again, comma. We're going to click in March. And click on D18 one more time and close our parentheses. So here we can see we're summing, adding together whatever we find in D18 of January, D18 of February, and D18 of March. I'm going to tap enter, and here I can see the negative balance debits of those 3 months. We're going to repeat that process. Equals sum, open my parentheses, click on January, E18, comma, February, E18, comma, March, E18, close my parentheses, double check and make sure that it actually says what it's supposed to say, and then tap enter. So now I've got my quarterly balance debits and my quarterly balance credits. How much did I make over those 3 months? Here I'm going to create a very simple formula for the plus minus, which is I'm going to go equals all of my pluses minus all of my minuses. That way, if I went over a certain amount of money, if I was in the negative, this would show as kind of a negative number, okay? So again, that's equals C4 minus C3. And my ending balance, I'm just going to use the same thing I used before with my ending balance, which I'm going to go equals March F17. That's my ending balance for the quarter. That's all I need. I'm not doing any math here. I'm just posting whatever number is found in that cell. So equals that cell. Okay? Oops, this isn't formatted correctly. Let's go ahead and do that real quick just so it looks nice. We're going to use accounting, English of course, and we're not showing decimal points anywhere else, so we're going to reduce and get rid of our decimal points with these numbers as well. Okay, now this is working across several spreadsheets. We did both like references to other cells. We did, functions across different spreadsheets. So that's something, and it's a powerful tool. If you multiply that by all of the functions that are available, things that we can do, you can see how, maybe you can imagine how spreadsheets can get extremely complex in their functions, not just across spreadsheets, but across multiple spreadsheets in a workbook. Okay? All right, so that's our practice for today. I think I only have one more exercise for you this week, and then we're just going to wrap up Excel and we're going to move on. So maybe you're looking forward to that. We will be doing kind of a final kind of review next week where you'll be working kind of on your own like we did in Word. Okay, have a good night.